Starting with data instead of questions. A common mistake in analytics is starting directly with the data. Analysts open dashboards, explore metrics, and build charts without first defining what question they are trying to answer. This approach can lead to interesting observations, but not necessarily useful insights. Without a clear question, the analysis can quickly become unfocused. That is why strong analytics always begins with a clear analytical questions. So the right approach is starting with a question. Great analysts begin by asking the right questions. Instead of immediately exploring the data, they ask, what exactly changed? When did the change occur? Where in the product or user journey might the issue be happening? And what possible factors could explain the change? These questions help narrow the investigation and ensure that the analysis is aligned with the business problem. Let's return to the Quick Cart example that we introduced in the previous lecture. Quick Cart is a grocery delivery application, and the company recently noticed that the number of completed orders dropped by about 15% last month. As analysts, our job is to understand why this happened. Instead of immediately exploring dozens of metrics, we should begin by asking structured questions that help guide the investigation. This helps us approach the problem systematically. Breaking down the metric. Actually, a useful technique in analytics is breaking a metric into its key components. In many digital products, the number of orders depends on two main factors, the number of visitors and the conversion rate. In simple terms, we can think about it like this. Orders equal visitors multiplied by the conversion rate. This means that if orders decline, the change must come from one of these components. Either fewer people are visiting the product or the percentage of visitors who complete an order has decreased. This type of decomposition helps analysts quickly narrow down possible causes. Narrowing the investigation. Once we break the metric into its components, we can start narrowing the investigation. For example, if orders declined, the first question might be whether the number of visitors changed. If traffic remained stable, the next possibility is that the conversion rate decreased. And if conversion decreased, we need to investigate where in the user journey the issue might be occurring. This structured approach helps analysts focus on the most relevant areas instead of randomly exploring data and spending more time there. From my experience, I can also mention that focusing on the right data by asking the right questions saves tons of time to the analysts. Understanding the funnel. Another useful way to investigate the problem is by looking at the purchase funnel. In most digital products, users go through several steps before completing an order. They visit the product, browse items, add products to the cart, go through checkout, and finally complete the purchase. If orders decline, the issue may occur at any stage of this funnel. By analyzing each step separately, analysts can identify exactly where the drop occurs. Later in this course, we'll explore funnel analysis in more detail and apply it to the quick cart example. Now that we understand how to translate business problems into analytical questions, the next step is identifying the metrics that help us measure and analyze the problem. In the next lecture, we'll discuss how to choose the right metrics and avoid focusing on metrics that look impressive but do not represent real business value.